Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Right, let's go.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah, Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom,
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to all of you. We are delighted that you have chosen to spend a little bit of your Shabbat with us as we have a chance to thank God for the many blessings in our life and to come together as a community to pray and sing and rejoice. We have a very special service tonight as we recognize and welcome new leadership and celebrate their commitment that they're making to our synagogue community. For those who are watching on Facebook tonight, we invite you to comment in the chat if you've not already done so. Please say that you are there so everyone who's watching knows that you are there. And throughout the service, if you want to add a comment about what you're seeing or good wishes, of course, that's always welcome. Everyone will be able to follow along with our service and song and prayer as we will be projecting up pages for the liturgy in front of you. We'll also be calling out some page numbers for those of you who are following along with a Siddur in your hands at home. And we now turn to the beginning of our service as we welcome Shabbat with the Sabbath lights. It is my pleasure to invite Jeri Amundsen and Arthur Feldman to join us on the screen to help kindle the lights of Shabbat. If you're following along at home with a prayer book, you can find that in pages 2 and 3.
We probably have this prayer book someplace.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our day, be among those who kindle light.
And we come on.
There you are.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Answer, you're muted.
And so having now the glow of Shabbat, we continue with Lecha Dodi, our chance to welcome the Sabbath bride. If you're following along at home, you can find that on page 20 of the prayer book.
Lecha Dodi, Mikrat Kala, Bnei Shabbat, Tekavela. Lecha Dodi, Mikrat Kala, Bnei Shabbat, Tekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, shmiyanu el hamachad, Adonai echad u'shema echad, l'Shema tiferet v'litila lecha dodi, mikrat kala, bnei Shabbat, tekavela. Lecha dodi, mikrat kala, bnei Shabbat, tekavela. Likrat Shabbat nekhu benecha, hine kol habiracha, erosh mikratem nesucha, טוב נעשה במחשבה תחילה lecha dodi, mikrat kala, bnei Shabbat, tekavela. Lecha dodi, mikrat kala, bnei Shabbat, tekavela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, ba'orech u'mi'ori, uri shirtaferi, kivor Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi, mikrat kala, bnei Shabbat, tekavela. Lecha dodi, mikrat kala, bnei Shabbat. We now rise as we face the entrance of the room that we're in as we welcome in the Shabbat bride into our space with us. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, ram besimcha uvtzola, lochem uneam segula, boi chala, lichadodi, lichadala, lichadala, Jeri Shabbat, lichadodi, Jeri Shabbat.
We are going to continue with Baruch Hu, which is found on page 28. If you are not already rising and you feel like you're able to do so, please do so as we pray. These words are the words of our blessing for the evening, Ma'ariv Aravim, which should appear on the screen shortly. I invite you to offer them with me. They are also on page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
We continue with the words of Ahavat Olam, which will also be on the screen. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadetam. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, B'shofteinu You may be seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We sing this song of redemption and peace, Micha Mocha, on page 40. Our next prayer, Hashkivenu, is about God's sheltering and protecting presence spreading over us, a structure of peace. I think in this time when staying home is the best way to keep not only ourselves safe, but also other people safe, we have a new understanding of what that Sukkot Shalom feels like, that protective presence that God can provide. We offer these words of gratitude for that protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomeinu lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Baruch atah Adonai Haporei Sukat Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim We continue now with our Amidah, our standing prayer. I invite you to please rise in body or spirit. The words of the Amidah begin in our book on page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue with a prayer of gratitude for Shabbat. Page 135, if you're following along, that's a big skip. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw a while from the flight of time, constrain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. Continue with a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, HaYisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל
We take a few moments now for silent prayer and gratitude.
Say shalom, shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael
Sometimes when we have prayed together on Shabbat and the time has come for us to offer a Mishaberach, there have been times, I confess, when it has been hard for me to think about what to pray for during those moments. These recent days, though, it is not difficult for us to think about those whose lives have been touched by illness, for us to think with gratitude of the doctors and nurses and researchers and therapists and healers of all kinds who are offering care and comfort and recovery to those who are suffering with illness and pain. So at this time, all of us join our prayers together. As we enter into the words of Mishaberach, we take just a second to turn our thoughts outside of ourselves, to think of those members of our congregation and those far beyond it who on this Erev Shabbat find themselves suffering and praying for healing and recovery. On this Shabbat, the prayers of our congregation go out to David Askenaz, Bradley Borden, Melba Berman, Jennifer Carey, Emily Caulfield, Michelle Cohen, Miles Cohn, Tracy Crane, Maya Crater, Roseanne Finkel, Jerry Hooks, Sarah James, Vicky Yonda, Lauren Landry, Lawrence Levy, Velma Lingo, Melinda Scholar, Angelica Taylor, Marcia Tushita, Roger Williams, Harav David Ben Idit, Peril Sarah Bat Malka Edel, Leibish Velvo Ben Sheva, and with them, all of those who are suffering on this Shabbat with physical illness, emotional distress, and pain. on their behalf, these words of prayer and song emerge.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I want to remind you all that at the conclusion of our service tonight, we'll be hosting a virtual oneg so that we can have a chance to visit and share some time together. There's information about how to join that oneg in the Facebook comments, and the link can also be found on our website and in the email communication that we sent out to you on Friday. I hope that you'll make plans. I think some of you have already known that we are offering a special program tomorrow evening. You've seen it in our social media and in some of our communications. I hope that you'll make a point of joining us at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, when Cantor Simmons and Rabbi Fixler will be leading a session called Havdalah and Hope, Songs and Stories to Keep Us Going. I think all of us could use some material to help us keep going and find strength and courage and fortitude together. So I hope that you'll join Rabbi Fixler and Cantor Simmons tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Lastly, a reminder that can't be repeated often enough. All of us, our whole clergy team and all of the Emmanuel staff are here for you now and at all times. So if you need pastoral support, someone to chat with, a little bit of assistance to get yourself through a difficult time, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know how we can do our best to be a helping hand at these difficult times. And now on this Leadership Shabbat, we're going to take a moment to turn to the work of installation and recognition and affirmation of those who have been elected to serve this holy congregation. I'm going to invite all of these leaders now to take a second and turn on their video cameras so we can see their faces. They'll begin joining us by video now. You'll see them appearing on your screen, the faces of all of these who have stepped forward into roles of leadership and service. We are so grateful that they're with us, those whose faces you can see and those you can't. All of them have stepped forward selflessly to assume the work of leadership in this congregation. And all of them will take a moment to offer words of affirmation and commitment. To begin, it is my great pleasure and privilege and honor to ask Jeri Amundsen to offer words of affirmation as she assumes the role of congregational president.
Thank you, Rabbi. I faithfully accept my commitment to the leadership of Congregation Emanu. I dedicate myself to this task with humility and devotion. May my life be enriched by my service, and may this synagogue and the Jewish people be enriched by my leadership.
Thank you, Jeri. And now I'm going to ask all of those elected officers, trustees, our youth representative, and the leaders of our congregation auxiliaries to offer their words of affirmation as they assume their roles of leadership. I'll be asking all of them to read those words from their homes now, and the words that you will hear will be coming from Stuart Gaylor, our elected senior vice president, who will be speaking on all of their behalf. Although the words you'll hear will be his, know that the intention And the words are also being spoken by all of these elected leaders. And now, officers, trustees, youth representative, and auxiliary leaders, if you will read along as Stuart leads you in these words of affirmation.
We faithfully accept the mantle of congressional leadership. We dedicate ourselves to this task with humility and devotion. May our lives be enriched by our service, and may this synagogue and the Jewish people be enriched by our service.
Stuart, thank you. I want to take a moment to offer you, all of you, some words of blessing and acknowledgement and gratitude for the commitment you've made and the promise you're undertaking to serve this congregation and the Jewish people. All of us are in our own spaces, in our own homes, at a time when we need to feel close together, we need to feel part of a community, and we need to feel the touch of togetherness and the embrace of a congregation. It's difficult that I can't be with you in person to offer words of blessing, so I have an idea that I'm going to offer this evening. I have in my arms one of the Torah scrolls from our temple. There is a story that you may know that when the Torah was revealed on Sinai, as the legend goes, the souls of every Jew from every age and all over the world were there at Sinai to participate in the receiving of Torah. And so according to Jewish legend and Jewish belief, the Torah is the thing that serves as a conduit of togetherness, as a vehicle of connection, as a vehicle of togetherness and solidarity and community. And through it, blessing can be transmitted to all of us, no matter where we are at any time. And so as I place my arms around this Torah, it is as if I'm extending my arms in blessing to all of you, as I offer you these words of blessing as you assume your sacred roles of leadership. O holy source of blessing, we pray that you bestow your blessing on these leaders, those who have been elected to serve our congregation. We pray that you instill in them insight and understanding, perseverance and patience. O God, inspire them to work together in pursuit of our community's greatest aspirations and its highest values, even as they watch over its daily needs. O God, we're thankful for the dedication and the giving spirit that bring these men and women before you, prepared to devote their energies to your service to the benefit of us all. Grant success to their endeavors and help them to lead us in the pursuit of our sacred mission. And now I offer these words of blessing on all of you, these words of blessing that we have offered to other members of our congregation at every time of joy and celebration and transition. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yerei Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. May God's presence always remain close to you. And may you be blessed with the greatest gifts God gives, the blessings of wholeness and goodness and peace. Amen. Mazel tov, and thank you to all of you. And now it is my pleasure to invite Jeri to share her president's message with our congregation and all of us.
Thank you, Rabbi Hayan. That was a beautiful and meaningful blessing. I want to thank all the trustees who are being installed tonight. Your commitment to serve Emmanuel is key to our success, and I'm tremendously grateful to have the opportunity to work with all of you and to build on the inspiring work of Rodney Roth. I'm honored and humbled to be addressing you tonight at this Leadership Shabbat. It is not exactly as I envisioned it. From home, in front of my computer, there may even be a dog or two lying at my feet. Normally, our Leadership Shabbat would be celebrated in our Polar Chapel or Bear Sanctuary, but normal seems like a lifetime ago. The rhythm of our lives was much different just 2 months ago, and our lives were certainly different over 2 years ago when I was asked to accept this role to lead our congregation's Board of Trustees. It was early in 2018 when Rabbi Hayan invited me to his office for a meeting. I said yes, of course, Who says no to the senior rabbi? I didn't even ask him what it was about. He and I had worked on many projects together since he joined Emmanuel, including Ritual Music Committee, Create a Legacy, and the joyful task of co-chairing his transition as our new senior rabbi. I was curious and excited to hear what he had to say. So there I was sitting with Rabbi Hayon at his glass table in his office, wondering what project or committee was on his mind that day. I was genuinely surprised when he asked me to consider the nomination to be president of Emmanuel. When I think back to that day, it seems fitting that the invitation to help lead Emmanuel would take place in the senior rabbi's office. You see, my journey at Emmanuel began in that office over 25 years ago. It was 1993, shortly after I moved to Houston following my husband Arthur and my engagement. During my first week in Houston, we were enjoying lunch at Alfred's Deli with Arthur's parents, Bernie and Sherry, his grandparents, Joe and Aline Cost, and several adult cousins. When we shared with the group that we were considering whether and which synagogue to join, the entire table chimed in, "Go see Roy Walter." Neither of us knew Rabbi Walter, but nonetheless, we made an appointment to go see Roy Walter. Arthur and I met with Rabbi Walter in his office a few weeks later, that same office now occupied by Rabbi Hayon. I was nervous when we arrived. I grew more nervous walking down the administrative hall and then into Rabbi Walter's office, where he sat tall behind his desk. His warm and friendly demeanor immediately put me at ease. We learned about all that Emmanuel had to offer us, and our first stop would be the basic Judaism class. A few years later, we enrolled our first child in Becker, and like many preschool parents, our lives revolved around the Becker calendar and the many friends we made there. As a young Becker parent, I volunteered often at school, and eventually the wonderful Becker director, Shirley Burkham, tapped me for a leadership position that included a role on the temple board. I continued to be involved with Becker, and the orbit of our lives always included Emmanuel. Eventually, Arthur and I would celebrate many joyful events at Emmanuel: 3 baby namings, 3 Becker graduations, 3 Helfman consecrations, 3 B'nai mitzvahs, Helfman High School graduation, and later this month, the confirmation of our youngest daughter. There were tough times too, and I leaned on Rabbi Silk and other Emmanuel clergy for support during difficult times. The death of our nephew, my father's death, illnesses, and personal struggles. That day in 1993 in Rabbi Walter's office, I never imagined how important this sacred congregation would be in my life and how much I would grow from being a part of its community. 2 years ago, as I pondered Rabbi Hayon's invitation to lead this congregation, he reminded me that I love Emmanuel. He was right. I love Emmanuel and all it stands for. I'm honored to have the opportunity to play a part in continuing Emmanuel's commitment to Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, and to the pursuit of social improvement and personal connection in our community. Today, our community finds itself in a landscape of uncertainty due to the coronavirus. Most of us have been homebound for nearly 2 months. It has been hard. I often think of Rabbi Fixler's advice to make a list of things you're grateful for. Each week, my list includes gratitude for technology and its ability to bring beautiful Shabbat services into our home every week. Thank you to our clergy, Jason Plotkin, David Lambden, and your team for tirelessly working to bring us a beautiful virtual Shabbat. I'm also grateful for the extraordinary music Cantor Simmons brings over my Wi-Fi so many days a week. But I admit it, I miss being in our building, the hub of our community. I miss Friday night services in the chapel. I miss sandwich making with kids' meals each month. I miss meeting face to face. But as the world shifts around us, the clergy, staff, and lay leadership are here to help our community navigate through these unprecedented challenges. Here at Emmanuel, our year looks different than we envisioned it a few months ago, but we will tackle these challenges together. I know we will be together again. To the Board of Trustees, I'm grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with you individually and as a group. And as we continue our sacred partnership, and a very special depth of gratitude to the Executive Committee, Stuart Gaylor, Freddie Franks, Laura Mayer, Ben Miller, Melissa Carson, Don Blitz, Ronnie Curtin, and Rodney. You have not missed a beat addressing issues and planning for our future, and we've only been at it for a week. Through your thoughtful leadership and vision, we will find new opportunities to support Congregation Emanu as we continue to be a light unto the nation. Shabbat Shalom.
For reaching this special moment, we offer our blessing, our Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We have a custom at this time of the year for counting the Omer, a way of keeping track of time in this special window between Pesach and Shavuot. The cantor will lead us in the blessing for counting the Omer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer.
Today is 30 days, which is 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. As we near the end of our service and we recognize the keeping track of time, our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, and we reflect on the days without them and how our hearts ache without them near us. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth. We remember our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our peoples whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We take a quiet moment of reflection to think about our dearest ones and do the work of memory. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Our hearts go out in sympathy to the families of Shirley Levine Nathan, Jan Goldblum, Morris Ike Rosenthal, and Irvin Reiner, laid to their eternal resting places just in recent days. And we lovingly remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death, falls on this Shabbat. Shirlene Agress, Barbara Amdur, Alfred Appel Jr., Tibby Atlas, Robert A. Axelrad, Jake Axelrod, Ruth Babinger, Leo P. Billings, Harold Y. Black, Ronald Irving Burke, Jean Schwartzberg, Alan Buxbaum, Dora Leah Cohen, Ruth Kaminsky, Elvin J. Cowan, Joan T. Daly, Beverly G. Dannenbaum, Sadie Darsky, Harris Davis, Judy Dibner, Sal Dolgoff, Edna Duckler, Sylvia Einbender, Doris Eisen, Jacob L. Farb, Alfred Fine, Lucille Fox, Gertrude Frank, Leo Frank, Rosella Frogel, Grace Fulton, Babe Goldfield, S. Donald Greenberg, Leo H. Gross, Harriet Gross, John Hanosh, Elizabeth Heiken, Anita Daly Hamburg, Ben Harris, Isaac Hecht, Bruno J. Heimlich, Ethel Lee Hoffman, Bessie Jacobson, Harry Duran, Harold Leonard Cookie Kaminsky, Lee Kapoor, Louis I. Katz, Ann R. Kasdan, Norman Keene, Gary Leon Keeper, Larry Klein, Helen G. Krull, Solomon Lack, Albert Larson, Joan Lawfer, Abraham Lemmel, Dorothy R. Leonard, Herbert Lesser, Leo Lowenberg, Jenny Malakoff, Saul Marcus, Abe Marks, Louis Marks, Denise Sabbath Master, Ruth Mattis, Moritz Mayer, Harry B. Mervis, Ray Meyer, Moselle Michelson, Max Motley, Edward Nagel, Mario J. Pawlski, Harris Pessis, Philo Herbert Pessis, Donald J. Pleason, Robert Presser, Robert Putterman, Avi Raffaelli, David Reisman, Sanford Sandy Ribnick, Leslie Robbins, Ethan Robbins, Dorothy Elaine Roos, Julius Rosenthal, Lois Schwartz Roddersman, Henry Rubenstein, Jean Ruby, Louise Weiser Sachs, Jean Dawn Saper, Seymour Shear, Yetta Schindler, Francis Schneider, Merle Cotton Schultz, Benjamin Aaron Schultz, Curtis W. Schwartz, Julia Schwartzberg, Jacques C. Schur, Bela Handler Simon, Norman Sissemwine, Morris M. Slotnick, Sidney Smiley, Sanford E. Sandy Smith, Charles Sofer, Laura Solomon, Ted Spector, Renee Spillane, Molly Sachs-Totter, Genevieve Jen Tober, Melva Tufsky, Marvin S. Tudson, Joe Wilk, Jane Zimmerman. With grief and sympathies mingled, we rise together as one congregation to recite the words of Kaddish. If you're following along with us in a prayer book, it's on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bialma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brihu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. We
Conclude as we do each week with blessings for Kiddush and Motzi, thanking God for all the sweetness in our life and all that sustains our bodies and our souls.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
L'chaim.
I have my challah came freshly delivered. I hate to brag, but here it is.
I don't think she hates to brag.
I don't think so either.
All right, I'm pretty proud of it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon.
Come on.
We conclude with a prayer for our leaders and for everyone. Tfilat Haderech. May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Amen. May this be our blessing. Amen. May we be sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Amen. May this be our blessing. Amen.
May this be our blessing today as it was for our ancestors long ago as they made their way through the wilderness from redemption to revelation. As they made their way through times dark and mysterious, they knew, as we do, that the most important things they could count on was the presence of visionary and principled leaders at their head and the nearness of loving hearts and companions by their side. May we be blessed with those things as well as we make our way forward through this wilderness to the brightness of a land of promise ahead. We hope that you'll join us for togetherness in our virtual oneg after the service. Thank you for being with us. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
May this be our blessing. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to have a, I don't know.